It was Spencer Stubbs.
Good evening, council members and staff. Is this working?
It is.
Okay. My name is Spencer Stubbs, and I've lived in Windcrest for almost 20 years. I work for the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, but I come here as a citizen of Windcrest today. In general, I've always been proud to live in Windcrest. And with full disclosure, I've been married to Joan Pedrati for 21 joyful years in April. Now, please bear with me. Imagine an institution that has served the public for more than 50 years, but was disbanded in the dark in the blink of an eye. And then imagine an organization was created without public input or knowledge, based upon a nebulous agenda item stating discussion and action on tax status of the Windcrest Volunteer Fire Association. An agenda item that, when compared to others that have been struck down by the Court of Appeals in the Texas Supreme Court as too vague to give notice to the public, pales in comparison. Now imagine this organization was created in the shadows, was created without the benefit of an ordinance. And then imagine an agent of the city entered into a contract with this fraudulent organization to provide services to the city in violation of the city charter. And imagine this organization collected in excess of $20,000 in donations after being informed by their legal counsel that they could collect donations without a charitable tax status as long as they did not expend any of the funds they collected, after which they spent over $8,000. Now imagine months later, when these organizations colluded, knowing that they had no legal standing and were going to be exposed, they attempted to backdate the check by introducing an ordinance before City Council that would have made their actions somewhat less revolting. Now, I'm a criminal investigator, and as a criminal investigator, I have questions and I have observations. First, my observations. If you look at the facts, it seems that a fraudulent organization deceived the public and took over $20,000 from them. Kind of like the guy who calls on the phone claiming to be an IRS agent and tells you that you owe them money. You pay them believing they really are an IRS agent and that the taxes are for the public good. But they're not an IRS agent and they just stole your money. This is called theft by deception, and in an aggregate amount over $2,500 is a felony offense under Penal Code 31.02. And being a good investigator, I noticed clues. Like when an officer asks to speak to someone and they run. That running is what we call a clue, an indication of guilt and a building block of probable cause. The governing body that purported to the newspaper as recently as last week that they hadn't done anything illegal in creating the new organization tried to introduce an ordinance on January 22nd to create the new organization they continue to purport they legally created 4 months earlier. As one of my favorite judges used to say, it doesn't pass the smell test. As a criminal investigator, we call this a clue. And in this case, it's a tacit admission of guilt and a building block of probable cause. And had it not been for the good citizens of Windcrest filing their revolt against this organization, their plan would not have been thwarted. So here are my questions. Where do we go from here? Number 2, how many people are involved in this deception? Does it rise to the level of organized crime pursuant to the RICO statutes? For those of you who are not aware, that the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organization Act allows for the leaders of an organization to be charged with the crimes they ordered others to commit. Number 3, how much more money is involved? Because greed is the most likely motive for people to act like this. Number 4, is there someone who can follow the money? Number 5, with as much chicanery in something at this level, how much duplicity is going on in the really big multi-million-dollar projects like the Senior Center next to Home Depot and the development of the IH-35 plot? And number 6, given the current climate and the political climate, would this be a Bexar County DA matter, or would this go to the AG's office? Because in my experience, someone willing to break one law is willing to break others, especially when the reward is so much greater. Thank you.